I am Kasan Preshan Kumara, IT 2022-8880. First of all, I will give a brief introduction what we are going to do. Dirty cow attack is our topic, and we need to know what is this cow attack. Cow means copy on write, and this is a privilege escalation attack. CV number is CVE-2016-5195. Privilege escalation means simply it is a practice of exploit system vulnerabilities to escalate privileges to achieve greater access than administrator or developers. This cow attack is a kind of kernel exploit. Kernel exploits are programs that vulnerabilities which exploiting the vulnerabilities by executing arbitrary code with elevated permissions. The successful kernel attack can be gained the super user access for attackers. In 2016, Bill Oyster discovered this Linux kernel privilege escalation. In this attack, race condition occurs, kernel executes some specific functions that essentially read the file into memory, create a copy of file in memory and then write that to the copy of it. It is not original one. When this process occurs rapidly, over thousands of iteration, an edge case occurs when the kernel erroneously overwrites the original file. That is the abstraction of our project, and we are going to get root privilege of Ubuntu box by this dirty cow attack. I am going to show how to edit a read-only file with the cow attack, and my partner will show how to get root privilege of Ubuntu box. First of all, we need to know how to install Ubuntu. I will show step by step with explanation. First, we need to get VirtualBox from virtualbox.org and download it and install. Then we need to click new button and give a name for your Ubuntu box and choose memory size. I recommend this need to be half of your memory and choose a size of hard disk and click the create. Then we need to go settings and system. You need to choose number of CPUs. You can choose any number of CPUs for that, and then go to the storage and select the ISO file. We choose Ubuntu 12.04 and click OK. Then start the Ubuntu box. Choose your ISO file and click start. We can see the boot menu. You can choose install Ubuntu, then continue and install now. You can install by this step. After the installation, we can see the interface of Ubuntu 12.04 version. Before get the root privilege, of this Ubuntu box, I will show how to edit a read-only file without root privilege by this cow attack. First, we need to go terminal and we need to create a file sudo gedit and need password, and I enter some numbers, 4 ones, 4 twos and 4 threes, and save. After saving, then we can check the details of the OBS file by these commands: ls minus l, our file name OBS. We can see it shows the permission of the files. Minus rw means read and write for the user, and r minus minus means read only for the other people. Then we will try to edit this file by nano editor. We need to use following command: nano, our file name OBS, and we try to edit by adding 4 fours at the end, and we'll try to save by control X, and it says saved modify buffer. We'll enter yes. We can see the error permission denied. We can't edit by this nano editor which we created named OBS file. Then we have to get a way for edit this file. We can use cow attack for this task. We couldn't edit our OBS file by nano editor or any editor because we are not allowing to edit a read-only file. We are not a root user. I will show how to edit our OBS file by our cow attack. First, we need to create a C file named cow attack.c, and we need to copy this code. I will explain the code in brief. First of all, save the C file. I will explain the main part of this cow attack code. First lines we use some libraries and we move to this part. This code segment open the target file in the read-only mode which we created earlier. That means our OBS file. So this should be OBS. Then we will move to next part. That part says map the file to copy on write memory using map private. Then this code segment says find the position of target area. That means we are going to change this part for twos. Then we will move to next part of the code. We have to do this attack by using 2 threads. Next code segments do wait for the thread to finish, and we will move to next part. This part do the change. We want to change this area to this asterisk. By this code segment, move the file pointer to corresponding position, and this code segment do the writing, write to the memory. These are the code segments. Then we should save this file. Then we need to compile our C code by this command gcc -o, give a name, and our how attack.c and -lp thread, and hit the enter. Then we need to execute our how attack. It's not ending, therefore we need to control C to stop our executing, and then we need to check our OBS file. We can see it's edited by 4 asterisks. In our earlier file, we can remember there was 2 4s, and now it is 4 asterisks because of this part. As a conclusion, we expected to change 4 2s to 4 asterisks according to our cowattack.c code. We can see output after the executing our cowattack.c code. We successfully modified our read-only file named OBS, and we can say our cowattack is successful. Then we will get the root privilege of this Ubuntu box by this cowattack. My partner will explain that part.
Thank you, Kosum. I am P.H. Aminder. My ID number is IT 20223144. Previously, Kosum showed how to edit read-only files by using cowattack, and I will show you how get root privilege of this Ubuntu box by using same technique, and I will show step by step with explanation. First, we need to check password file stored in ECT folder. That password file is read-only and can't edit directly by non-root users. And then I will show root access of the system by following using this command: gedit /etc pass wd, and then press enter. First line we can see the root user, and end of the file erase user is here, and end of the line it shows the current user of Ubuntu box. Erase user ID is 1000. It does not have root privilege. If we can change the value third field value to zeros, and we can turn into root. And the close pass w file first need add the new user by following using this command sudo add user, give any name, username, maybe Siri, and then press enter and then enter password. Again enter the password and press enter. Set up user data and we can see the new user has created. Then we need to get root for user in Siri by changing that field value replaced with the zeros. We need to modify our previous code using following this command gedit covattack.c and then change this part to etc slash passwd and change this part to 1001 and this part to 4 zeros and then save the file and compile and execute the code by using gcc info dash o covattack a file name covattack.c dash lp3. Let me enter and execute. And wait couple of seconds and stop the executing. Control plus C and we can see the Siri becomes root user. We can check details of user following using this command su Siri and then press enter password and then type ID. We can see the Siri has root privilege escalation of this Ubuntu box and we can say successfully done by an Ubuntu box exploited by CVE 2016-5195 vulnerability. How we can prevent or mitigate from dirty cow attack? First, we have to check vulnerability to find out if your server affected this attack, and then we can check the kernel version using following this command uname dash rv and see the version. Then we can fix vulnerability by on update your system and reboot your server by using this following command sudo apt dash get upgrade sudo apt get dist dash upgrade and then press enter. Post the password and then update this why and then updating the server. You can cancel it by pressing Ctrl plus C. Ctrl plus C and then type sudo reboot. When we are exploiting this Ubuntu box, we have faced some challenges like Ubuntu box has been crashed, code.execute, lack of right information, and understand the code. And finally, we solved all of our challenges and successfully exploited the Ubuntu box by dirty cow attack. Thank you. Have a nice day.